Hi, this is Julie Barkus, and I just wanted to come to you this evening with a quick tip about your profitability. Have you been thinking that you need to boost your profits a little bit and wondering how you're going to get there? If you have, you're not alone. Many of my clients say the same thing when we first start out, and this is what we're going to be looking in depth at the Childcare Business Success Conference that's coming up July 23rd, 24th, and our special Owners Only Day on the 25th in Chicagoland. So if you're not registered, now's a good time. But let me share with you 3 things that we're going to be looking at when it comes to your profitability, and hopefully these things will help you get your thoughts in the right direction. I just got off the phone with one childcare program, and they need to increase their profits by $300,000 in 1 year, and they have no idea how they're going to get there. And perhaps your number isn't as high as $30,000 per month, but perhaps it's $2,000, $1,000. Maybe you think, oh my goodness, $5,000 would be wonderful to have that influx of profits. So I want to share with you when I consult, and what we're going to be teaching at the conference is really to assess your profitability under 3 main categories. Now, under these 3 categories, there's a lot that goes into this. But I just want to take a couple of minutes to give you a rough idea, open up your mind a little bit to thinking about your profits and how you could generate more of what you want. So the first one, of course, is our enrollment building. But what we like to do is think about enrollment building not necessarily in the traditional sense where we have one position to fill or one enrollment to fill and we get one child in that enrollment. I want you to think about and start thinking about who can you build relationships with in your community that would send a slew of new enrollments your way if you had the right relationship built. The problem is most people go about relationship building in the wrong way. So we want to teach you how to do it correctly so that you can have people say, oh yes, you need childcare, here's where you go. And you can even move it beyond that so that it almost feels like you have an effortless flow of new people coming into your program. We can make that happen. That's the first component. So it's kind of non-traditional enrollment building. The second component is really looking at profits that's not related to enrollment building. And I have to admit, this is a little bit of a guilty pleasure. This is where it gets a lot of fun because we get to look at your business model that you have in place and think about, with what we have, with our building, with our email list, what can we do to bring in more profits? So what you have to think about are the things that are valuable commodities that you already have that people would start paying a lot of money to access. The other thing that you want to think about when it comes to the second component is what is it that your parents really want and how can you give them more of that and monetize on it? Because parents want one big thing. They want more time. How can you give them more time with what you already have in place? So think about giving the parents more of what they want. There are things that you can package up. There are things that you can monetize on. There are other services you can offer. There is exclusivity that you can offer your parents that they would gladly pay for because it's going to save them a lot in time. So like I said, this is very individualized and a lot of fun to look at because it's really the non-traditional thinking in terms of your childcare business. The third component is where we spend a lot of times and organizations will recoup as much as $1 million here in the third area. And this is where our profits leaking out of your pocket. It's really important to go through what we call a little report card in terms of where all your leaky drips, where's the money leaking out of your bucket, so to speak, or your pocket. And a lot of this comes in terms of performance and productivity because there's a lot of time, especially if we're having a lot of turnover or a lot of issues with staff going on that add up a lot. So even think about your own time, just as a business owner, just as a director, and I want you to think about how much time do you spend per week just procrastinating on things that you know you should be doing, but maybe you're not necessarily sure how to go about doing those things. That's one place where your money's leaking out because you're taking all of that time And when I talk with directors, sometimes it's about staff motivation, and it could be 10 hours a week, 40 hours a week. They make 20 bucks an hour. That's $800,000, $800 to $1,000. That's dripping out of your bucket. But for a lot of organizations, especially multi-site, that adds up to millions of dollars every year. So what we want to do is take you through our report card for your childcare business and really look at each of these components of where that money is leaking out and see which plugs we could plop in there the quickest to get you on your fastest path to increase profits. So those are the three areas that we look at. Enrollment building, not so traditional. The second component is really all about generating profits that have nothing to do with enrollment building. And the third is really identifying those profit killers that your security cameras and nobody else will ever reveal to you. But I'm going to. If you like these tips, it's not too late. Make sure you join us at the Childcare Business Success Conference coming up July 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Chicagoland. We are going to change the course of your childcare program and your life. I'm Julie Bartkus, and I look forward to seeing you at the Childcare Business Success Conference. And if you're watching this video, the link to go to is www.rockmychildcare.com. Kind of like Rock My Baby, but Rock My Childcare. I'll see you soon.